No bail. That's the ruling today in the case of Gahiji Tshamba, an off-duty city police officer accused of shooting a former Marine outside of a Baltimore nightclub. The bail review was the first time we're hearing Tshamba's side of the story, and ABC2 News' Josie Sturman is here with all the details. Josie?
Rosie, prosecutors today called Tshamba an extreme risk to public safety. They asked for him to be held without bail following that nightclub shooting. But Tshamba's lawyer says when he fired that gun, he was simply doing what he had to do to save his own life. Days after reportedly shooting a former Marine outside a Baltimore nightclub, Gahiji Tshamba is behind bars, denied bail after turning himself in over the weekend after a police manhunt.
And this perception that not only is he this maniac, but he's also on the run or resisting being taken into custody to face these allegations, and that's not the case.
Instead, attorney Adam Sean Cohen says Tshamba was prepared to turn himself in, but went into hiding because of supposed death threats, simply protecting himself while anticipating a warrant.
He understands that this is the process. Does he want to be incarcerated? Absolutely not. But he understands that this is the process, and he accepts that.
For now, Tshamba has accepted charges of murder in the death of 32-year-old Tyrone Brown, who was shot 12 times. Cohen says his client stepped in after Brown started groping a woman who was not his girlfriend, identifying himself as a cop. Brown's family says he threw up his hands and walked away, but Cohen claims his client fired because he felt he had no choice.
A police officer in fear of his life has to do what he has to do to preserve his life. And if one shot doesn't work, and two don't work, and 3, 4, 5, 6, if they don't work, you fire until the threat is gone.
Cohen says his client is not the man he's been painted as in the media. The Sun reports Tshamba was disciplined in 2005 after shooting a man after getting into a fight while driving drunk. But Cohen says the officer has also been recognized for his actions on the force, including a Bronze Star for saving a fellow officer and commendations for saving a child and not using deadly force in an incident last year.
This was an officer that was decorated for 15 years, approaching 16, and now all of a sudden he's persona non grata. And he has not had a chance to respond, with the exception of today where I was able to present some information for the court to consider about who he is as an officer and that he's not this rogue and vagabond that he's being contemplated.
Cohen admits he doesn't exactly know where Tshamba was all weekend and that those death threats ended up being a hoax. Still, he says city police have attempted to paint his client in an unfair light by leaking information. That's something that also upsets the police union. They've called much of the talk about this case a rush to judgment. But a city police spokesman says they stand by their charges and their handling of this case. Josie Sturman, ABC2 News.